All right, so I just got done doing a pretty long episode for Wellness Wednesday, and I wanted to do a little addendum real quick on that, and it has to do with the format I actually chose for that discussion. And so I got to sit down and thinking about this because I think, like I mentioned, a lot of people are kind of leery of me. I don't think they understand like that my intentions are actually good, and that I kind of know what I'm talking about and why and how I would do that. So I had thought about this prior to kind of writing that whole discussion up, and I'd love to hear your feedback on this, but I kind of dissected this, and this was what I came to, and that is that in the area of trust, there are kind of three arenas inside of that umbrella of trust. Um, Basically different ways you can trust somebody or be trusted by someone. And that's something that I don't think a lot of people really have conceptually kind of identified in their minds. So I try to take these abstract concepts and turn them into a more concrete kind of idea so that you can move them around or whatever and kind of conceptualize things. That's how I do it. So the three arenas of trust that I came across when I was like thinking about this, and maybe you'll agree, um, the three arenas of trust would be intention, judgment, and competence, right? So that is to say that I may trust somebody to have good intentions, but I may not trust their judgment. Or maybe I trust their intentions and their judgment, but maybe not their competency. Uh, so, like with let's see here. Let's say somebody who's making food, right? Somebody's making food. Let's say they're a really good cook, right? Um, but but maybe they don't do desserts very often. They don't have a lot of experience with desserts. So I might trust their competence as like maybe they make really good sauteed goods, or maybe they make really great sushi, but maybe they don't make baked goods very often or very well. So I trust them to do good sushi, but I don't trust them to do good baked goods. I'm not going to trust them to make cupcakes that are out of this world, right? Because that's not their field of expertise. So you can trust them, and you can trust that they would intend to do well, and you could trust their judgment, which would be probably like if you trust somebody's judgment, you say, all right, I have a job that I need done, and I need a bunch of cupcakes made, and this person I know is really good at making sushi. But I would trust their judgment to say, if I did trust their judgment, then they'd probably be like, nah, I'm really great at sushi, but I'm not really great at cakes, so I'm not the right guy for the job. So that's trusting somebody's judgment, or that's a good judgment call that you can then trust their judgment after that. So a lot of times I think, we might trust somebody's intentions. Maybe you have a family member or a friend who genuinely loves you and cares about you, but maybe they make dumb decisions all the time. Um, okay, here's a fun example. Gregory House, the fictional character, from TV show House. Um, House is very competent as a doctor, so you trust that he knows what he's doing, like in an operational sense. You know that he knows medicine, he knows how to do it, right? But you can't always trust his judgment because sometimes he makes wacky, ridiculous calls that put people in danger. And you can't always trust his intentions because sometimes his intentions are to serve himself. Conversely, a foil for his character on that show is his boss, and for her competency and judgment are kind of usually on display um, as kind of these central kind of bouncing off points for House because her competence as a doctor is kind of on the low end. She's not bad, but she's not at his level of competency with medicine. But her judgment is usually better, and her intentions are always better. And so these different areas of trust and respect can be broken down, I think, and help understand our relationships with other people and their relationships to each other. If you understand that, you might trust somebody to have good intentions, but you may not trust them to do the right thing because maybe they have bad judgment. Or maybe whatever. So you get the idea. The point is that I don't think trust is a full encompassing blanket thing. You can trust somebody in one area but not in another. You can respect somebody for their intentions, but but not respect their competency. And so that's an area where, if I'm gonna try to earn somebody's trust and or their respect, I try to earn it in each of those ways. I try to have the good judgment to know when I'm out of my league on something or when I don't have expertise. And so that's an opportunity for me to learn and grow. I also try to make sure that I am very competent in the areas that I am competent in. So if I know something, I like to know myself well enough to know what can I speak on with confidence? What kind of advice can I give that's actually going to be good and useful? And my intentions, I like to always check my intentions. Why am I doing the things that I'm doing? And this, the intentions, I guess integrity, kind of respect, trust, integrity, these all can be broken down into these three different things. So with my intentions, I make it a point to have the best of intentions regardless of who's around, who stands to benefit, whatever. My goal is to create win-win-win situations across the board in my life. If I'm involved in something, I want everybody to win. And that's just a point that I've made in my past. When I was younger, there were times, I guess, when I didn't really look at it like that, and I never felt good about the outcome. So these days, in order for me to sleep well at night, I like to try to be the best intended person I can be. Somebody who's genuinely looking out for the well-being of others and myself at all times. I try to make good judgment calls, and I try to be mindful when I make mistakes to learn from them so that I don't make the same mistakes again. And finally, competence. I like to do my homework. I like to go out of my way to learn about things, and I try to approach every new subject with a certain sense of skepticism, both for the subject matter and also for my own existing knowledge. So I try to be like, all right, well, I think I know all this, but I need to keep an open mind so that I can be open to learning more or learning different or learning better. So that's really it. I just had wanted to add that in, and just to recap. So that's the three areas, the three arenas maybe of trust, respect, and integrity. And so those three arenas that apply to all of those are your intentions, your judgment, and your competency. And so, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, what areas do you feel like you trust people? Are there people in your life where you trust their intentions but not their judgment? Or are there people you trust their judgment but not their skills? So I don't know. I'd love to hear back from you and see what your take is on this. But that was just my philosophy on it, and I'd love to hear what you guys think. So we'll see you next time.